Hello and welcome to my channel. Another day of me bringing you interesting gist. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so that whenever I post a video, you will be immediately notified about it. In today's video, a clip of a brother and a Hispanic man goes viral after a discussion they had where they were talking about their preferences on what race of women they would want or prefer as life partners. Now this video will give us a shock of our lives when a brother is asked this question and he shares his preference and the reason why. Let's check out this video together.
Okay, why do I prefer black women?
Yeah.
Because I love melanin. I have found that black women are the most intelligent women on the planet, generally speaking. Black women tend to be the most strongest women on the planet. And I would want a very intelligent, strong woman in my life. And I think that the darker the skin, the more beautiful a woman is. I told you why I prefer black women. Now you have to tell me why you prefer white women.
I want to have white kids. Yeah, that's the reason.
Say it again.
I want to have white children.
You want white children?
Yeah.
Why?
I just like white children. They're gorgeous.
You don't like black children?
I just like my kids to be white. Is that a problem?
You don't want your children to look like the father?
Not at all. I don't want my children to look like me. I'm ugly.
Let me see. Come, bring your face over here. Bring your face. I haven't seen you. You keep hiding. Let me see. So when you look in the mirror, you don't think you're handsome?
No. I'm not handsome.
You're out of your mind, sir.
Oh, really?
You're a handsome black man. I'm a straight man, but I'm being sincere with you. You should not feel like that about yourself. That is not healthy to think that you are not a beautiful person and to want your children to look like another race. That's unhealthy. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think you feel like that about yourself?
It's a long story. Yeah, I really do have my reasons for my decisions.
After having watched this video, I know you have a lot of questions, but like I said, preferences. I know for sure that a brother will have to deal with a lot of backlash from us, his racial group. But anyway, let's take a look at what different people had to say about this in these number of stitches, and make sure to watch this video to the end. See you right after these video clips.
I want to have white kids. Yeah, that's the reason.
And there it is from the horse's mouth. Be free. No more marching. No more getting pummeled with rubber bullets. No more anything. No more nothing. Because you're hearing it from the horse's mouth. Again, time and time and time again. As if their actions didn't already speak volumes. Now you have the words and the actions to go with it. See how that works? But if you go back and you watch that video for full context, the lighter skinned fellow went into a bullet point presentation practically about why he preferred black women. Whereas the young man in the bottom reduced those women to nothing other than kids. And I'm not saying that kids are nothing, but you understand what I'm saying? Like, the only thing that she could do for him is to make white babies. And then there are other videos where they get their credit right. They are very giving. They are in a state of constant pleasing to appease his ego. So, black women, you are free. You're hearing it from the horse's mouth. You're free. Take heed.
Bring your face over here. Bring your face.
This is what I imagine brotherhood looking like. I hope when my son grows up, he has friends like this who reaffirms him and let him know that he's beautiful.
Father.
Not at all. I don't want my children to look like me. I'm ugly.
Okay, just a quick rundown on what that video is about. There's basically two men. One is talking about why he prefers black women. The other is talking about why he prefers white women. In this video, the guy that's black and is saying that he prefers white women goes on to say that he wants to have white children and he wants to have children that look white and that don't look like him. And it's crazy and it's sad because he feels like this because of years of brainwashing. This is one of the reasons why representation is so important, because if you grow up not seeing yourself on TV shows, on media, you're going to grow up thinking that you should look like someone else. And you got a lot of people out there that have this preference because of internalized racism, because of self-hatred. There's a lot of people that end up with a white partner and it's not because of that, but that's not always the case. And we all know that. I feel like it's easy to always see one part of things, but not actually see the root issue and see where it's coming from. Self-hatred ain't the way.
That's kids. Yeah, that's the reason.
Say it again.
I am not going to excuse anything that he said because this is some very anti-black sentiment. Like, he definitely has some internalized racism he needs to work out. But he is utterly and completely wrong about having white children. His children will never be white. They will never be accepted into white society. And that is honestly coming from somebody who was born to a black man and a white woman. And I'm not going to go as far as to say that my daddy hates being black. But I am willing to say that he probably doesn't feel beautiful in his black skin, and it's sad. Like, the world has historically been very disgusting to black people and treated black people like they were the scum of the earth. My daddy was also not just black, but like an alternative black person in like the early 70s and 80s. So he was seen as wanting to be white, but the alternative lifestyle and even like classic rock, because my daddy loves him some classic rock, he loves rock and roll, even that is influenced by black people. But it was gentrified, and now some black people who are into the alternative lifestyle, into like rock and roll, are kind of ostracized and seen as wanting to be white or like acting white, when really it's been black all along. All along, just gentrified, but it's been black. And maybe my daddy felt if he had children with white women that his kids would be lighter and would be treated better and have a different kind of lived in experience than him. And honestly, I did, but I've never had a white experience. I've never walked a day in the shoes of a white child as a white person ever. I have never been in white society and they look at me as a white person. And it took me a little bit of time, but when I got older, to be like more comfortable in my blackness. And maybe it's because my daddy wasn't comfortable in his blackness. Like, I love that I'm black. I love that for me. You know what I'm saying? And maybe one day my daddy will love it for him too. But what this man doesn't understand is, if he doesn't love his blackness, even if he has children with white women, how are they supposed to love their blackness? And maybe that's the whole goal. They're not supposed to. And supposed to, you know, go on and fulfill the caste system destiny like some of us have done. Ironically or purposely. You know what I'm saying? I just hope that this man gets just a smidget of grace. And I say a smidget because he honestly doesn't see himself as a beautiful black person, even though he is a beautiful black man.
I always give or share my thoughts right after the stitches. Welcome back once more, and welcome to my favorite part of the video. I firstly want to give a shout out to this Latin man for not throwing shade to us black women and pointing out the fact that we are strong and intelligent. It is the compliment for me. I don't know about you. Now, here's my opinion on this. It's okay for you to have yours as well. Now, I don't see the reason why I shouldn't or I wouldn't want my children to look like me. I love myself, and whenever I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, yo, look at this beauty. You know, for me, it's all about self-love, that state of appreciation for oneself that grows from actions that support our physical, psychological, and spiritual growth. Quite all right, we all have preferences, yeah? And honestly, I can't take that away from him. But a point where someone prefers to be someone else, being himself or herself, it's kind of worrying, because clearly he stated that I don't want my children to look like me, meaning that he doesn't like himself. He doesn't appreciate his color. He doesn't like how he looks. In short, he's ashamed of his skin tone. And I think if there was a way of changing his skin tone or race, he would have done that a long time ago. I'm not saying we shouldn't like people of other races. No, I personally do, but a point where I hate myself and prefer being another race, that becomes deep. Now, him calling himself ugly because of his race, wow, just wow, guys. In as much as he wants white children, which is very impossible because he himself is black. So in a situation where he gets, to be with a white woman, his children can never be white because they will be mixed. Black and white gives us colors. I am African, so yes, they are colors, but in America they will be considered black. So depending on where a brother will choose to stay, their children will never be white still. Anyway, these are just my thoughts. Now let's take a look at what others had to say in the comments. The first one reads, "It has nothing to do with the women. It's about hating himself." I strongly agree with this person. Now the second one reads, "So it was self-hatred all along," which is kind of similar to the first comment. I respect the Latin guy not only appreciating women of color, but his honesty and advising the black man made me feel grateful that he listened and questioned. Now, it's sad that he feels that way about himself. That was one of the deepest, saddest things I've ever heard. Is there more to this discussion? Now this one says, "At least he is honest about the reasons he loves palm color women. He is 10 times better than these dudes who throw black women under the bus just to justify their preference to white women." This one says, "Firstly, he has low self-esteem, and secondly, he's been told that by people. So what happens to his children that doesn't come out white? Sounds dangerous to me." That pose and the facial expression when the guy said, "I just want my kids to be white," says it all. He is broken and has no acknowledgement of self. No matter how handsome others think he is, it doesn't matter till he finds self-love. This is sad. He probably doesn't want to he probably doesn't want the world to treat his kids the way they treat him. The world is sad. Now, these are just some of the comments from people or what they had to say about this video. What are your thoughts on this video? Anyway, feel free to leave your thoughts by dropping a comment. Thank you for always watching my videos, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So for now, it's a bye-bye and see you in my next video.